Hello and welcome. This is Contemporary India, part of your class 9th Geography. The very first chapter in this lecture we are going to understand is India, its size and location. As I have told you, this is part of your class 9th NCRT part 1 and the very first chapter. This whole of the series will be brought by me and my name is Krishna. Without any kind of delay, let's proceed further. So before we begin to understand the entire class or we are going to understand, we need to look on the content, what is we are going to do in this entire lecture series of roughly 1 hour. So we are going to understand what is India, not the historical context, not the philosophical context, but geographical context. Then we are going to understand about the location, where is India located, what's its latitudinal or longitudinal extent. Then we are going to understand about the size, what is the size of this country we are talking about, and then we are going to understand India's contact with the other countries, that is India's trade route or the pilgrimage route. So the very first topic we are going to understand is what is India. So India is one of the ancient civilization in the world. Why so? Because the history of India is associated with the Indus Valley civilization, which is considered among one of the ancient civilization of the world, right? So India have achieved multiple kind of progress from in the last 5 decades, which the industrial progress, the agricultural progress, the technological progress, and overall economic development. So due to that, we significantly contribute to the making of the world history. Now we are going to understand about the location of India. So India is a vast country which lies on the northern hemisphere. So prior to that, we need to understand that there is one imaginary line which passes through roughly through the South America and the middle of the Africa, like this, which is called the line of equator, which divide this whole of globe or the entire earth into two equal halves. The upper part is called the northern hemisphere and the lower part is called the southern hemisphere. So from here we can clearly identify India is located on the northern hemisphere, but China, Russia and some other countries are also located on the northern hemisphere. So we need to relocate this country. So apart from the equator, there are two lines as well, which passes through 23 degree and half minute north and 23 degree half minute south. On 23 degree and half minute north, there passes Tropic of Cancer. You might have studied in your previous classes that Tropic of Cancer passes through something 8 or 7 state of India. You might have learned some kind of mnemonic in your previous classes, which was really funny. And another line which is called Tropic of Capricorn, which passes through 23 and half degree south. So we can say that India, the Tropic of Cancer passes through India. Another line is called Prime Meridian, which passes through London. So it divides the whole globe into east and west, west and eastern. So from here we can say that India lies on the north and eastern state. Apart from this, you will also see that India is surrounded by three kind of what we can say sea. On the western side it is surrounded by the Arabian Sea, and on the eastern side it is surrounded by the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean. So now we are going to understand, apart from this you will also encounter two kind of Iceland. On the eastern side, Andaman and Nicobar Island, or on the western side you will see the Lakshadweep Island. Don't worry, we will be understanding these Iceland in deeper or in detail in upcoming classes. So you can refer to the NCRT's this particular map which is given in your textbook. So from this particular map you can see the India's latitudinal and longitudinal extent, and you can also see the distance between the northernmost and the southernmost point and the westernmost and the easternmost point, right? Add as many as fact as you like, as you wish. So till now, one interesting fact to know that India's the southernmost point, which is called Indira Point, got submerged under seawater in 2004 when a massive tsunami attacked the Indian continent. So now let's move on to the size. What is the size of India? What is the size of this massive or giant country we are talking about? So the land mass of India has area of 3.28 million square kilometer. This is not 3.28 square kilometer but million square kilometer, which is massive or which is giant, which account for 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. When we say about the number, India is the seventh largest country in the world, or its land boundary is about 15,200 kilometer, and its coastline or mainland boundary includes 7,506 kilometer, 506.6 kilometer. So overall boundary, for the overall boundary you can add up these two values to get the overall boundary. India is surrounded by the young fold mountain called Himalaya. On the western side, roughly here, Jammu and Kashmir Himalaya. On the northern side, Jammu and Kashmir Himalaya, Kumaon Himalaya, Punjab Himalaya. You will see the outer Himalaya Shivalik range in the northern side. On the eastern side, you can see the Assam Himalaya on the eastern side as well. So from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there is a time lag of 2 hours. Don't worry, we will understand this particular point when in the upcoming classes. So India has got a fixed time zone which passes roughly through Uttar Pradesh, particularly Mirzapur district of the Uttar Pradesh. Moving further, so you might encounter some kind of question that why is 28 degree 30 minute 3 minute east has been selected as the standard meridian time of India, because this particular line passes exactly through in the center of the India. So there wouldn't be time lag for any particular point. I mean to say that, or for any particular eastern point or for any particular western point. That is the primary main reason for selecting this as a standard time meridian. You might encounter this particular question that why is the difference between duration of day and night hardly felt at Kanyakumari but not in the Kashmir, because Kanyakumari is near to equator, right, and which receives directly sunlight, and Jammu Kashmir you will see is far apart from the equator. So that is the primary reason for the difference of day and night in two particular point, that is Kanyakumari and Kashmir. Moving ahead for the next particular point, that India and the world. So in this we are going to understand what was the India's relation with the other countries. So India is the southward extension of the Asian continent. There are 7 continents. I hope you know every continent. Sorry. So the Trans-Indian Ocean routed which connect the countries to the Europe and the West and the countries of the East Asia provide a strategic location, because India established its contact with the west of Africa, Europe and Southeast and East Asia, right? So you can see India is strategically an important location due to its vast presence on the ocean. So the ocean is named after India as Indian Ocean. Moving ahead, let's now compare our country with the other countries of the world. So we are going to look on the topmost country, geographical areas, geographically topmost countries area wise, we can see that Russia is the largest area wise country, followed by Canada and USA, China, Brazil, Australia, and India. Russia accounts for 17% of the entire globe, Canada for 9%, USA 9%, China 9%, Brazil 8% roughly, and Australia 7 point, or which is approximately 8 points, and India 3.2%. India 2.4% must be there. So you can see Russia is approximately 8 times bigger than India. So don't go for this particular chart. If you are studying in class 9th or class 10th, so don't learn all these particular countries in the order, descending order. But if you are preparing for the competitive exam, you need to understand, you need to learn all these countries with the descending order of area. So you can understand this by using a mnemonic called RCUC by, where R stand for Russia and C stand for Canada, U stand for USA, and so on. Another interesting fact to know that since the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869, India's distance from Europe has been reduced by 7,000 kilometers. So somewhere here is Suez Canal. So there was a land route was discovered which connect directly India to the western countries. So India can transport, import or export its good to the western countries. Right. So now let's move ahead. We are going to understand about India's contact with the world. So the India's land route is more older than the maritime route. As we know that India is trading with the other countries from the ancient Indus Valley civilization as well. While the maritime route have been discovered recently in roughly back in 1498, when the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama reached first in the Cape of Town in South Africa, then in Calicut in India. Right. In ancient time, India's fine quality muslin cloth and spices were exported to other countries. And how do we know that? Because due to the travelers and their account. So the idea of India's ancient text of philosophy like Ramayana, Mahabharata reached to the unknown corner of the world, and the same happened. Some kind of Greek sculpture or architectural style prominently influenced the Indian subcontinent. Here are some of the example of the explorer Chinese like Fahian and Wen Sang, and you can also see the Greek traveler and the Persian traveler as well. So let's move ahead. You can also refer this particular map given in your NCERT textbook. Here you can see the ancient route to the present time route or the air route. So suppose you want to reach to Syria or Iraq. How will you do that? So you will take flight from Delhi, you will reach to Iran and then to Iraq. So this was Red Sea through Suez Canal in from where the ancient time trade used to happen. From where the ancient time trade took place. Okay, give me a second please. So now let's talk about India and its neighbor. So India has 28 states and 7 union territories. India shares its border with Pakistan in the western side, China on the north and eastern side, Bhutan on the northern side, Nepal on the northern side, Bangladesh on the eastern side, Myanmar on the eastern side. So the longest boundary shared by India is with the Bangladesh, which is 4,000 kilometer, followed by China, Pakistan, Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan and Afghanistan. Total number of landlocked state of India are 5. India has total 9 coastline states. Nepal touches maximum number of state of India. Uttar Pradesh share maximum 6 state. Uttar Pradesh state share maximum boundary with the 6 state of India. Sri Lanka is separated by Park Strait and Adams Bridge here. Okay, now let's move to the next topic. Another interesting fact to know that before 1947 there were mainly two type of states, that is princely state which were ruled by the local rulers, and the British Indian provinces which were governed by the British officials appointed by the viceroy. Now you might be wondering or thinking what happened to these states. So answering this question will lend us into history. Answering this question will lend us to history, but don't worry, we will understand history as well. I will answer this question as well. So this was for the today's class, and I hope you understood and liked and enjoyed this particular session. So I'll see you in the very next one. Till then, thank you.